Yeah.
I'm not gonna
All
lie,
right.
Cho. Personally, I
Okay.
think Aries.
Okay. So the recording bot's in here. Just for the recording, it's Zeus versus Kinshi Huang. My opponent Trouble has Kinshi Huang, and I have Zeus.
You can stole my intro. Okay, whatever. There's just gonna be two parts. One, Quincy scales to Hades, who's stronger than Zeus, and then I believe that Zeus won't be able to react to the attacks of Quincy due to the nature of what they are. That being that they are attacks that purposely go for your blind spots. That being things you cannot see or even be aware of. So their fighting, I think, could be stronger, faster, and Zeus will be able to defend against his attacks.
All right. So let's start with the first part. So you said that Kinshi Huang scales to Hades, and Hades scales above Zeus. I'll probably put into
Yeah.
quick tension why Hades is above Zeus. I feel like that's the more relevant part. Yeah. So, Mister, why do you think Hades is above Zeus?
Yeah, because one, Hades is just stated to be the strongest. Zeus cooks down to him, and in the anime, he's also called the strongest.
Okay. So which point do
Wait,
you want to
wait,
use
wait, hold on,
first?
wait, hold on. Before we get into, I'll send the statements.
Yeah. All right. So, all right, buddy.
Can we start with the
Sounds good,
laughing,
man.
bro? Yeah, can you hurry up, you little?
Give you like 5 guys.
I'm not West Coast, dude.
You don't gotta be in the server.
Okay, hold on,
Big
hold
Kinshi
on.
Huang. Get the scans, buddy.
That's what I'm doing, bitch.
Whoa, watch your tone, buddy.
Bro, how many times have I packed you out of VC, bro?
And 0 times, right? You leave VC every single time. All right. So,
Yeah, okay, whatever. But I'll read out the scans. The first one, as the strongest and elder brother of the Greek pantheon, strongest of the Greek pantheon. Then in the second scan, Ares calls Hades the strongest, which Zeus says, of course, meaning Zeus agrees he's stronger than him. And then the third scan, they just outright say that Hades is the strongest of Zeus, Poseidon, and Adonis. So
all
yeah.
right. So, which scan do you want to start with? Like, you just threw 3 scans at me. Yo, who's
Which one?
devouring a fucking
Yeah.
meal, bro?
Damn, bro. Yo, I love Nani, bro. Like, go meet, bro.
Yeah,
It
can someone
wasn't
mute
even
him?
me. It
Yo,
wasn't
No,
me.
it was a
Double
guy
up
named
me.
I Love Nani. Holy fuck. Okay.
bro.
So, which scan?
I'm gonna clip that. You fat fucking bitch. You're done.
All right. All right.
Man,
What do you want me to start with, Trouble?
nigga, can you say your contention, bro?
Yeah, I'm telling you, you threw screens at me. Which scan do you want me to attack first? Scan do you think is the
What,
strongest?
brother? Whichever scan you want to go at, bro. Like, they're
All right,
all
we can start
all
we
the
can start
same.
with we can start with the anime one. So I don't think the source that states it is credible because it's stated by Adamas, who has like inherent biases against Zeus given his rebellion and the contents of it.
Okay, just to be clear, for the anime scan, you don't think the source is valid because it's stated by Artemis, who has a bias towards the likes of Zeus? Okay.
Yes. So
Yeah, wait, hold
yeah,
on, wait, brother, hold on. Just two things, just two things. Well, just one. Just prove he has a bias towards what is
yeah,
it?
Zeus. Yeah. So the foundation of the bias is during Adamas's rebellion against Zeus because you obviously know why Adamas rebelled against Zeus to begin with, right?
Wait, and where does he have like a bias?
Huh?
Does he have a bias in the sense where like he just dislikes him, or does he have like a
I mean,
bias
I
where
wouldn't
he?
call it that.
Hold
Like,
on, hold
I would
on,
just call it that. Like, he just doesn't
hold on.
want to accept that his younger brother is stronger than him because of like some inferiority complex.
Okay, just get this answer that, and then
Yeah,
where you
sure.
stand where you stand
Yeah,
out the Greek
I was
pan?
asked a question. I was asking you a question.
All
Okay.
right, go for it.
Do you remember why Adamas rebelled against Zeus?
No, all I remember is that Poseidon like kills him or supposedly killed
All
him, and
right.
then that.
You need to
Um,
read it. Okay. So I'll get the scans for you. So it's in the what was it? The Poseidon fight, probably. It's like chapter 14, 15 maybe.
mm, mm, mm.
Yeah. So
uh, give me one. Oshi, do you have like the scan prior to this statement being
all
made?
right. So everyone look in scans. So he says he's the youngest of us. No, I won't accept it. I will not accept it. After the Taitsunemaki, the war in which Zeus and the Olympian gods defeated, this believes Zeus rises to supreme god. So despite Zeus being have defeated the strongest god at the time, which would include the 4 brothers, because he like explicitly says that since he's the youngest, I will not accept it. Like I will not. Like it's just something that he doesn't want. And furthermore, like this idea, like in Adamas's head, that the oldest should be the strongest, is further corroborated in your own anime scan, where he explicitly calls him the eldest and the strongest, even though eldest usually doesn't have any like bearing or relevance to a fight or a combative sense. He still decides to invoke it, showing some form of biasness or belief that the youngest shouldn't be the strongest and the oldest should be the strongest. So I don't take Adamas here to be a source given those.
Okay, okay. So just for clarification, your argument is just that Zeus defeats the strongest god. That encompasses these brothers. His whole idea within his mind is that the eldest should be the strongest before he
Yeah.
denied. Yeah, okay. The scan you just sent, I don't think proves that. I think this is just him denying Zeus becoming like the king, supreme ruler. Like, because if Adamus is like a very, very like cocky person, like he wants to eat at the top. I don't think this one scan alone justifies quote unquote narrative that he believes that when you're the eldest, therefore you're also the strongest.
Wait, why
But
why do you think that
well, wait, hold on, wait, hold on,
interpretation?
wait, better, hold on. But assuming what you say is true, the narrative of the eldest being the strongest would just follow, seeing as that that's the whole entire thing that surrounds Hades. And then secondly,
No, I
wait,
disagree with
hold
that.
on,
Like,
wait,
that's just
hold on,
Adamas's belief. That's just
better, hold on. And then thirdly, I don't think the strongest God statement would encompass the Greek gods. Is that later on, and millions of years later, we have statements that say that nobody knew like their true strength, that being for Hades and so I don't think they'd be encompassed by that.
I mean, if anything, that just further supports my point that Adamas would be even less credible source because he doesn't know the strength of the kids he's talking about, if anything. So like that, for one, that just like immediately helps me.
But
So I don't even know why you brought
no,
that
it
up.
is not.
No,
Hold
wait,
on.
let me
Okay.
let me finish. So the first part of the thing that I think the scan justifies this. You just think it just shows that he's simply displeased with Zeus rising to like the strongest because he's a cocky question. You have not addressed why he brings up age consistently, like in every single interpretation. I've also explained to you that why he denies Zeus being like the supreme god or the strongest makes no sense, given the fact that he defeated a god who's stated at the time to be stronger than both Hades and Poseidon, verbatim by the narrator. So even if their power sources are relevant, or sorry, not the power sources are relevant, the knowledge of their power is irrelevant by like the other characters. Given the statements made by an omniscient source, it would be immediately relevant. And also, this is further supported by like just the nature of the rebellion, because they have all accepted that Zeus is like the supreme god, except Adamas, which just further shows that Adamas has some form of prior belief that um, these other gods are like Zeus because of the youngest thing. And that's why I explained to you that he brings up the oldest statement to corroborate the statement further. And like the whole thing about like the lack of knowledge about some gods like Poseidon and stuff isn't relevant because it helps my point even more that he doesn't know how strong Poseidon is, and like he still declares Hades is the strongest, if anything. So yeah, like I just think like the point just falls flat. And you saying like, oh, you don't think this isn't really like a point. I just
Okay.
want more just support on why like your interpretation is
Brother.
more justified.
Okay, so there's two things. The first thing he said was that me committing to them, to the verse not having like a full gauge on the power undermines my claims or like goes against me. I'll respond to that before I get to the second thing. For that claim in Pacific, no, it doesn't undermine my claim at all. All it means is that upon the confirmed characters do have these statements of being their power being hidden, that being Poseidon and what is his name? Hades, to the knowledge that he has, to the accessible knowledge that he has upon these characters, he believes that that is above the likes of Zeus, right? That doesn't undermine my claim at all. All it means is that, let's say he has like a gauge on 70% of Hades, he thinks that 70% of Hades is above the likes of Zeus. It doesn't undermine no one. Then for the second part, you just did like a repetition of what was initially being asked. Secondly, one, send the statements that Kronos was the strongest god or is called the strongest god. And then thirdly, what is your response to this being, I think, a couple billion years ago, and the gods just not revealing their true power? And then you mentioned like something about like omniscient source. Can you repeat that point?
Yeah, so I was explaining how the narrator's on a source. So when he calls Cronus the strongest god in the universe, it doesn't matter about the knowledge of like the other characters in the verse. It would just matter about the author, given the author's omniscient nature, and he would know about like all the characters in his universe. And he's trying to establish that this character is the strongest at the time. And I'm telling you that temporality here is not relevant because temporality is not what I'm talking about here. All I'm trying to establish to you is that Kronos' character um is incredible during that point in time. I'm just trying to establish even in that point in time, I'm just trying to show you how Kronos' character is like not how strong the gods are during this period of time versus that period of time. I'm not trying to say, oh, like this is contradicted by Zeus beating Kronos or something like that. I'm trying to explain to you that despite during this time period, Zeus did defeat a god stronger than Hades at the time. Kronos still didn't, sorry, not Kronos, Adamas still didn't accept it. That shows that there's some form of bias or some form of disbelief or some form of like inherent thing like in Adamas's mentality that shows that he just doesn't want to accept that Zeus is the strongest or Zeus is stronger than his
Wait,
other
hold
brothers.
on,
And
hold on.
I just wait, hold on. I justify that to you by the supporting statements of him calling Zeus the youngest in his statement of him rejecting him and him affirming Hades is the oldest and the strongest, even though oldest has no bearing to fighting.
Okay, okay. And then because you mentioned earlier that like he mentions like the eldest and oldest, and you're referring back to the anime scan for that.
Yeah, like that's the scan like we're debating on right now.
Okay, and you said to him he correlates oldest being the oldest and being the strongest as correlative.
Yeah, in Adamas's opinion, which is faulty. That's why he rejects
Oh
Zeus
wait,
being like
no,
weakest.
I don't know if you heard earlier where I said that we know this narrative of that being the oldest being or this being like an alluding narrative is correct, seeing is that let's just go into like let's just go into your interpretation, right? And that he's a biased source to which you haven't answered the question to what he is biased in, that being that is he biased to the extent where he's just going to be delusional, or is he just biased towards something being the case? But
I,
let's
I, I don't think I don't say it's delusional.
better get this kind of being as strong as I asked earlier. Because
Yeah.
now I'm still train of thought as well. So just give me a second. Yeah. Now now I remember. Now I remember. Let's going under the notion, right, that he is like a faulty source and that he's like, he's unbiased or whatever. No, he's not unbiased. He is biased. Outside of him, we still have like this consistent narrative that being the eldest means you're also the strongest. But you just point to Hades, like they attribute him being what is it, this unwielding pillar of not being able to lose due to him being the eldest of them. They say, yeah, we can put 100% trust into him due to the fact that what is it, he's the eldest. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure it's clear, but just get statements, brother.
Oh, yeah, I got the saying already. I sent it in scans. I'll also sent it in chat for everyone to see in the audience too. So he says a young Zeus, so the narrator as a young Zeus defeated the mightiest god in the universe at the time. His father Kronos, the personification of time. So
Oh, this is
so yeah.
wrong.
So how is it a
Yeah,
mistranslation?
they call him the strongest Titan. So like what? Yeah, he's the strongest Titan. Okay,
What
how does that
translation is this? What
which
translation is this? But for one, this is the official translation, and this is I'm pretty sure TCB or like other fan translations say the mightiest god in the universe at this time. What
please,
translation is this?
brother, please do what you just said.
I said, what translation is this? The
No,
official
brother,
and like the fan
brother, wait,
translations will
hold on,
support this.
brother. I said prove what you just initially said that this scan is the official scan. Please prove that.
Okay,
Let's,
I got you.
yeah.
Ah, give me a second.
Mm, 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 mm. Also, I just want to re-summarize the point for the judge. The judges are correct. The main point is that off of the scans that were presented, what is it? It's his whole thing is that the source of the scan is perhaps biased due to his nature and belief, which is, oh, my mom's calling me. Hold
Wait, give me a
Minus
second.
from rhetoric.
Watch this, bro. Bro doesn't know tech. Hold on. His mom is calling him. All right. Everyone, peep scans. Unfortunately, Trouble doesn't know. I'll try to write it out, but I have the actual official. Look in, look in chat, bro.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, here's the proof. It's the official. This is the Viz cover, like supported by MangaDex and has the Viz signature. So yeah, like this is clearly the official translation that's sold and produced and published. So what's your just for that?
Give me one of those. That's okay. What?
Yeah, so I have a physical copy of the manga. I sent it in chat. Um, it says on the universe. This is the Viz cover, which is officially published and licensed for Manga Xenon and Manga Dex. So and this should be obvious because like otherwise it'd be fucking copyrighted like in oblivion if they didn't have the rights to it. So yeah, and also like if you look at like Mangapit, which has the first like volume release translations, I'm pretty sure too, it says the same thing. I don't know what translation you're using. It clearly comes from like a shitty like cherry pick website, and I know you're doing this on purpose because you don't want to accept the scan and the statement, which is fine, but like just unfortunately, like this isn't how this is gonna work, and
Yeah, like why is
because
mighty being reference to the strongest? Like why is it like a terminology that's used within Ragnarok to describe one's strength?
mightiest and strongest.
Yeah, like I'm saying in context to regular Ragnarok, why is him being called the mightiest mean that he's also the strongest? For example, within Record of Ragnarok, I could say Hercules is like the mightiest fighter due to like his physical, not his physical nature, but his stature, his overwhelm like big guy who can just overwhelm his fighters due to like the nature of his size. Like he can be the mightiest in that sense. And then secondly, if I remember correctly, the nature of like this tournament was to decide who is the strongest god. So the strongest god is just gonna be a reference to who participated within the tournament, not like this universal thing.
Wait, the
And we can just
strongest god across who? Like, because clearly it was decided for the Greek pantheon. So if one, even if you grant your interpretation
wait,
there,
wait, 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 wait,
that
hold on,
that'll be
hold on.
fine. Wait, hold on, that'll be fine because it allows Zeus to be the supreme god and the supreme god of Valhalla. So clearly the pantheon. That's for
Based
one.
off a rumor.
Two. Hold on,
That's
you're
based
ratting.
off a
You're
rumor.
ratting like. Hold on, you're desperate here. You're ratting like shit.
That's a
Trying
rumor.
to make the strongest for rumors. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Rumors.
Did you not read Apocalypse? Like the reason why Zeus grew to like become the god of Valhalla is based off of rumors. Like it wasn't off of the
No, it
tournament. It
wasn't.
was
No,
rumors.
it stated the opposite. Like you're reading like fucking
Oh
bullshit.
my
But
god. Oh
either
my
way, you
goodness.
made other claims I want to address first. Like here's not what's gonna happen. You're not gonna sneak in a few claims and like they're gonna go unaddressed and like you try to win off like a cheap win like that. That's not what's gonna happen here. Like you're just gonna get shit on. So back to what he was trying to explain earlier, and like he was writing like shit. He was trying to argue like why like, he was trying to put into question why mightiest in the context of Record of Ragnarok doesn't mean the strongest or like the most powerful. For one, Record of Ragnarok does not establish its own definition of mightiest or strongest, like or something like that. So you can't use oh like in the context of Record of Ragnarok. The example you gave is shitty because you can use surrounding context clues to explain it. The best example of this is Raiden being called the strongest human. We know Raiden his whole fighting stance is about his physical like strength, and that's what he's described to be as. So it's inferable to say that yeah, strongest could be referring to that. But here we don't have that, and in fact, we have emphasis on Cronus having other abilities such as time manipulation or some form of thing that like is similar to time manipulation. Wait, the judges are not in the VC? Yeah, they are.
No, not
Anyways,
he's
oh no, he is. Don't worry, and we have the recording as well.
I'm here.
But
Don't
yeah,
worry about it. I'm
yeah.
listening to
So clearly, like in those contexts and the example you gave, there's some extra contextification to explain why mightiest means the strongest. And again, given that Record of Ragnarok nowhere gives its own unique definition for mightiest, I think we can just appeal to the normative like dictionary definition of what mightiest means. And usually mightiest means most powerful or strongest. So yeah, clearly here, mightiest means that Cronus is the most powerful god, and this further supported by both Apocalypse and the normal story that this was what caused Zeus to rise to one, the supreme god of the Greek pantheon and the supreme god of Valhalla. So, given all of that, and given that Adamas could not accept that because he says, "Oh, like, Zeus is my younger brother, I cannot accept that." It just further supports Adamas's biasness towards the fact that an older brother should be the strongest, given his like pre-rigid like classical like beliefs.
yeah, okay. So just for clarification, uh give me 1 second.
Okay.
But yeah, just for clarification, your part or your argument was there's two parts. One, the official Viz thing. I don't think that fulfills it being official, seeing as that you can literally go online and get the synopsis of these things and the little Viz covers and put them on. So obviously, if they're gonna be putting out a manga and they want it for it to sell, like okay, take the Viz, take the synopsis, map it together, then go out there and sell it. That does not prove that the material or the scans within that said translation or within the book that you own or the physical copy is officially translated by this. That they got Japanese people to come look at the story, read it, and then translate it in this manner that you're using it in. And then secondly, for like the whole mightiest thing, you said something about like additional context. Can you just repeat that part?
Okay, so I said the example you gave me for the Hercules example, like oh like he could be the mightiest of the gods, but like that could be referring to like his gigantic size, like his physical
Oh wait,
attributes or
hold
stuff
on,
like
yeah,
that. And
yeah,
I get like I supported the rating example, and like, I was explaining to you like
yeah,
how like you just added extra context to make it that, but usually like
yeah.
mightiest doesn't mean.
I'll just tell you this, yeah. With Film Record of Ragnarok, when they go to describe something being the strongest of like the highest level, they don't use the word mightiest. They use either strongest or ultimate. It's just,
What the fuck? Okay, did he leave? Did he die? What the hell, you with the jelly? Is this death? By like, is this like concession by death? Like what the fuck?
yo, hello.
Yeah, hello.
Okay. Where did I leave off on? Oh, yeah. Okay, well, how they use the word strongest or mightiest. One, before I even get back to that, let me just send the scans real quick. Let me just send the scans. Um,
Scans. Is he trying to send, bro?
yeah, so right here, this is hammer homes the point right now. I have the Rawls. It doesn't even mention God. So this just proves my point even more. He isn't called the strongest God, mistranslation. But before we get to that, back to what I was saying earlier. When they go to describe something being the strongest or of like the highest caliber from Record of Ragnarok, which is why I said in context to the verse, they use the word ultimate. This is a consistent thing. Look at all of Thor's statements. When they say he's the strongest, they either use ultimate or another word that being strongest. The author does not leave it to be vague to say mightiest, which can mean a multitude of different things. I can say he's the mightiest being due to his physical stature, not him being like actually the strongest in terms of AP and speed. Oshi, Oshi or anybody, can you guys just get the scans to where they talk about Thor's hammer? They say it's the ultimate,
Yeah,
or that just
listen. I was the first one, guys. Like I was the one who brought it up first. But about what you said. So I'm gonna address the
hold
chat
on, wait,
GPT
you're
thing in a
lagging, you're
second.
lagging, you're lagging. Wait, you're
All right.
lagging, you're lagging, you're lagging,
Am I
you're
lagging?
lagging.
Am I lagging? Hello?
Because are iron.
I think
Wait,
it's
am I
I think
lagging?
it's just for trouble.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's Trouble who's lagging, but yeah. So
Can you hear yourself?
I'm gonna put the chat GPT point on hold for a second. Like it's not something like I forgot or something, but I just want to address this point first because it's more important. So he started talking about mightiest not being used in Record of Ragnarok conventionally to describe something the strong to the ultimate. But the issue with that is for one, the reasons on why you don't think mightiest could mean the strongest, like mightiest could mean the ultimate in the way I'm trying to define it. Those reasons can also apply to strongest and ultimate. So that's why I give you the rating example where like strongest is specified to like his physical strength or his muscles, which is like explicitly added in terms of context. Like there's no symmetry breaker there. In the same way that might is yeah can refer to muscles if they add that extra context. And I'm saying that just because it's not defined, sorry, just because it's not used in any other part of the story doesn't mean all of a sudden we can invalidate it or just look at it differently. And I'm
Oh,
telling
okay.
you, given the fact that mightiest isn't defined like exclusively in the story in some other way, shape, or form, we can simply assume like the regular definition because that's how we read and interpret stories. Otherwise, we wouldn't like be able to read anything because we wouldn't know the meanings until the story defines it for us. So we should know what mightiest means, and according to the dictionary, it just means the strongest, like the most powerful,
Yeah,
like
wait, hold on.
the
No,
ultimate. So
it's
unless
not
there's
true.
some extra context for Chronos, like I just don't see it. And like we can talk about the
Well,
God thing in
yeah,
a
Chronos
second
is a
because
titan. He's a titan. Do you know how big titans are? Like Atlas is literally holding up the entirety of all of creation, like two universal size realms that this guy is holding up and carrying on his fucking back. Right? Titans are extremely big people. Titans have very high muscular stature, and the whole point for like the minds is that within Record of Ragnarok, there's no symmetry record between the ways between the means in which they're used. Yes, they are. One, we wouldn't assume Marius applies contextually onto the likes of Record of Ragnarok when the author uses certain words to describe these statements. So when you're referring to like the Raiden statement, your whole point is that yeah, they say Raiden is the strongest fighter in terms of physicals. Marius can mean in reference to Marius can mean reference to physicals. Therefore, there's no symmetry breaker. One, that's just fallacious. But before we even get to that, Raiden doesn't once refer to that. They say, yeah, he's the strongest fighter in history, and they make a distinction as, oh yeah, his muscles are also very strong, right? But just because they have like a similar, oh yeah, let me just get the definition real quick.
okay,
Yeah, because you
you're
feel
making
like
a lot of
yeah,
arguments.
don't worry, bro. I've only made 3 arguments. I will summarize all of them, and I'll make sure you don't mistrack anything.
All right.
So here's this, and then here's this. So right here, Midas can mean important or influential figure. We know that would be contextually to fit because he's the leader of the Titans. The Titans were like the current rulers of Greek, and this guy is the ruler of all the Titans. And I guess at that point in time, he was also the ruler of the entire Greek. So in terms of like influential status or like being a very important figure within the verse, that would be true. So he's the mighty. For example, I can say the supreme king of the world. For example, Emu. I can say Emu is the mightiest figure, or like the girls say are like the mightiest figures, not due to like their strength, but due to their stature of who they are. That being their rank, their position, the admirals, etc., etc.
Are
You
you
get the
finished?
point.
All right. So
Yeah.
I have a few issues with that. So for one, the first few definitions that you provided, mighty as being size and stuff. This is
I
clearly not. I
wasn't
don't think
done.
this is like you said. But okay.
I said no. Now I'll just.
Yo,
Do you want
trouble
me
your
to repeat that
fucking
finally?
ass.
I'm telling y'all, Hermes. I've been waiting for this. Thank you.
Yo, tell me off your little fucking bitches into Zizo, you fucking piece of shit, you fucking.
Jesus.
Anyways,
Oh.
yeah. Do you want me to like summarize the
You,
arguments
you,
or?
you can summarize it again, but I think I caught the like
Uh,
gist of it.
yeah, just to make sure. So for the first argument, I said that when it comes to Viz, simply holding a physical copy isn't proof, seeing as that you can easily grab the Viz icon and synapses on the back and map it onto Seller. And then in context, I got the roles. I sent the translation. He isn't referred to as a god, which just backs up the point even more that despite you having this physical copy, it's still mistranslated. It wasn't proved that it's official. Then I mentioned how in context of Record of Red Dog, the terminology that they use to describe the strongest is ultimate and the literal word strongest.
Oh, I've already addressed that, but yeah, okay, I get it. So again, the ChatGPT like kanji stuff, I put it all on hold because I think the bites and the semantics is a little bit more important, anyways. Because regardless of what the ChatGPT translation thing is, if the mightiest point doesn't go through, like the rest of it like wouldn't really like matter as much. So that's why I think it's like point is more pressing. And the stuff about like mightiest and the definition of mightiest, the reason why I think like those definitions they provided about like authority or like dictatorship don't apply here is because for one, the context surrounding Record of Ragnarok and the context surrounding like the fight is like just a general combative sense, and he's clearly fighting Zeus here in a tournament. And I think because of that, it probably gives more credence to the case that this is probably referring to like a demonstration of combative capability, given this is the finals of the round like the strongest gods, and like he beats like the other finalists, and because of that, that gives more credence to it. Two, I don't think it's just referring to standard notions of physical strength, given that the manner Cronus is described in is just being the personification of time and having time capabilities and having capabilities of transcending all of time. And because of that, I think that gives further support to the case that it's probably just referring to his overall combative capability and his like feats of power, which should obviously be consistent with like the second definition you gave, which is possessing great and impressive power, strength, especially account of size or like power or something like that. So like clearly like there's a lot of stuff that further supports this notion. And again, the stuff about strongest and ultimate, I think if anything, this is an argument from ignorance because I'm telling you that just because in another statement of someone being called the mightiest doesn't mean all of a sudden about mightiest can't be used. And I was explaining to you that the reason why mightiest isn't some weird exception or now all of a sudden we assume it's different because of the fact that like it's a unique word that's invoked is because of like what the definition of mightiest means and like just normally what we assume the word mightiest means. And then now let's address the stuff about Viz and you're just saying that oh like they could have just what did he say? They
Wait,
could have
hold on,
just
wait, hold on,
taken
hold on,
it.
hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. I want to respond to that. For like that whole point, you kind of just rambled. Like you're just saying, oh, it gives more credence. All you're really doing is just putting in assumptions. One, just get the fallacy for like an argument for ignorance is. I forgot what it was. But to respond to like that whole point, the massive symmetry breaker. Let's take your interpretation, right? That part of the reason for why, because there's two parts. One, Midas is most likely going to be referenced to combativeness, seeing as that they're within a tournament setting, within like a tournament fight. That's just an assumption. I would
Your
actually
ass,
want.
nigga.
How's an assumption?
Yeah,
How's that
yeah,
an assumption?
Hermes. I like
Wait,
Hermes.
how's an assumption and like a
Oh,
correlation there?
brother, hold on. I keep losing my train of thought. All right, where was I at? Yeah, tournament. Fuck, bro. Dumbass spirit, bro.
You were
Maybe
talking
lose my
about
train of
you
thought.
said you okay. Here's what you said verbatim. You said that my point about the whole
Oh,
combative
I
setting
remember
and
now.
stuff
I
like that
remember now. I
is
remember now.
assumptuous, and I was asking why is it assumptuous?
Yeah, I remember now. So the 2 points for it was simple. what is it?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
one brother, shut up. One, assuming that what is it? Yeah, assuming that because like they're fighting for a tournament, and in the term quote unquote again within your weird view, because they're fighting for a tournament, that then means that it gives credence or likelihood to the fact that when
Is he
Midas is
lagging
going
for me, or is he like just lagging for like everyone else?
He's
to
fine.
Hello?
He's fine to me.
Oh,
no,
he cut out for me.
yeah, and then before I even get back to that, because I'm just losing train of thought, what I do have a thought on is the whole like space time thing. If you're just saying that Midas would be encompassed of that, and Cronus is known for like this being this space time god, that would just hurt your point even more because then we can just say that okay, well, the reason why he's called the Midas is not due to being a combatively superior opponent or having high physicals or anything of this nature, but it's due to him having this space-time conceptual relation, which just wouldn't even match or fit the entire verse, seeing as that
That's not my
other
claim.
stop. Seeing as that other characters don't even have such abilities, they don't take the other interpretation that okay, well, Midas is gonna be reference to physical nature or physical
That's not
stat,
my claim.
better stop. Physical stature, physical natural, or whatever, like combativeness, whatever, right? We take that interpretation and map it onto the series. We think even more contradictions, seeing as that okay, Thor, Shiva, Raiden, Wukong, other characters have these exact same statements and can meet these exact same descriptions or requirements, which if they do, but then under your view, a bunch of characters are all called the strongest beings. It's just obviously can't be the case.
Are you finished? Yeah, so
Someone's checking.
yeah,
that
like
point.
you completely strawman my claim. I never once said that Mightiest means space or time manipulation. I invoked that to explain to you that it could also just account for all of his like combative capabilities. Because I was telling you, I was just giving you examples of stuff that Kronos does like in his fight or his strongest abilities are stuff that just include all of his power. So it's not just about like, oh, like he's just physically big or he's just physically muscular. And we should look at it as probably the case that he's just overall like the strongest. I mean, the Midas, given that's what he does, like in the fight, and it's not just standard physicals. Like we should look at him overall and like what he focalizes in and what Mightiest means here, which is just having the most amount of powers, and those things are encompassed within his power. And the stuff you said about like it being a fight, and because of it being a fight, or a tournament, and therefore Mightiest should mean a combative setting and not like leadership is assumptuous. How is it assumptuous? It's clearly a correlation, and it would make more sense for it to be talking about combative capabilities, because then it would be talking about two distinct categories that don't fit together. Why would it be talking about authority in a setting of fighting and beating the shit out of each other in a tournament if it's the case that authority has no bearing here at
It's
all?
not true.
Like this is a tournament rebellion. Like in tournaments of rebellions, authority has no like
That's
relevance
not
or meaning.
true. That's literally not true. That
It
brother,
is no,
wait,
it is
wait,
true
hold on,
here
wait, brother,
because
wait, hold on,
all
wait,
that
hold on,
matters
hold
here,
on,
the only
hold on,
decider
hold
here
on,
is
hold
your
on, wait, hold
fist.
on, wait, hold on. From the, out of every single tournament we had in the fight, that being Apocalypse and the main side, the mainline story, authority is a deciding factor. If the
No, it's
humans
not.
win,
What?
yes, it is. If the
No,
humans win, they have the authority to reject the gods. If the gods
that's
within,
not about
wait, hold on,
that's not the
hold
same.
on,
Wait,
hold
for
on,
one,
better,
you
better,
cut me
hold on,
off. That's
better,
not the
better, hold
same.
on, better,
That's
hold
not the
on,
same.
better,
The
hold on,
problem,
stop, stop, stop,
the reason why this is not the same at all is because in the first
moderation,
example, what, you
moderation.
cut me off
This
first.
nigga's a ass. Oh my
Holy shit,
fucking.
bro. Your
Moderation,
argument for authority, your
moderation,
argument for like why
moderation,
it could be referred to
moderation,
authority here
moderation.
is because of
I
the
don't
Let
fact
a
want
that
to
single nigga
humans
vent
will
here
have
for
the
Hey, don't
authority
worry, I
after they
got
$2.
you
win the
some
fight.
moderation.
He's
All right,
saying
go
he
ahead, Zizo.
defeated he's saying he defeated the mightiest god at the time in a fight. Like he's saying, okay, he said, oh, this could be talk about authority because all of those tournaments, humans will have the authority to reject the gods. Is that really your fucking argument? Like, are we trolling? So for one, the issue with that is that that isn't like what the scan is referring to when it says he defeated the mightiest god at the time. Clearly, it's some overpowering, and then they give this description to
you're a
be
fucking
relevant.
nigger. What do you not understand? You're begging the question. Of
Trouble,
course,
How am I
trouble,
begging the
stop
point? What am I
trolling.
begging the point? I haven't even
that's
given
the
my
thing.
justification yet. I'm giving the analysis to tell you that it's probably
You
relevant.
already,
How? Okay, explain to me how Mightiest is relevant in a tournament of them beating the shit out of each other. Not what happens after. Not what happens after, because that's the debate for it. It's what happens after. That's the
that's not what
justification
I
for it.
said. Okay, yeah, because we know,
It's
for example,
literally what you
Apocalypse.
said.
Stop. That's just you strawmanning, right? And in terms for Apocalypse, we
Okay,
know.
wait,
Wait,
hold on. For the judges,
stop.
did
Wait,
he
better
not? Wait, did he? No, no. I want clarification. I
Zero,
want clarification because
zero.
he's lying right now. He's lying right now. I'm not gonna let him get away
All
with
right,
it. Okay,
both
I
participants
just
be
want
quiet.
I just want really quick clarification. Did
All right.
he not say that the reason why authority would matter here is because once the humans beat the gods, they will have the authority to reject them?
No, that's okay. That yes, that's the
Did you
claim.
say that yes or
Wait,
no?
hold on. Yes, that's what was said. But in context,
Okay,
of
was
what I'm
that
saying
before or
to you,
after?
hold on, stop.
Was
Let
that
me
before or
clarify
after?
even.
Or
Let
during?
me
Was that
clarify
before,
more.
during, or after?
Let me clarify one more. A
Holy
reason for why
shit,
you
dishonest, but
That would be after.
better
okay.
apocalypse. A main reason for why some of the gods are even fighting is not because of combatives, it's because, okay, well, if I enter into this tournament and I win this tournament, I then can have a chance to rewrite how all of heaven itself works to how I want it to be. So we can have like an egotistical person be like, yeah, this is how the world should be. Then I say, yeah, I offer a tournament not because of combatives, because, okay, well, if you enter and win, you can shape the world into how you want it
That's
to be.
still after.
Stop.
That's
That's
still
before.
after.
That's before. Okay. The main point is
That's
that
before?
stop.
So, wait,
The
hold on.
main
Will they rewrite the rules after they win or before they win? Are you stupid?
Yo, Zizo, why
that's
the
not
fuck
the
you
point.
interrupting him, nigga?
That's not the point. The point is
One
that
at a
It is
time.
the point.
authority.
Hold
No,
on.
that's not the point. The
Wait,
point is that
hold on. Let me end all matters. Zizo, do you think what he said right now was was a response?
Hell no. Like it was like a dog
Okay,
shit
then I'm
response.
not gonna
Can you
lie.
let him articulate his
Trouble,
response, bro? He has
trouble.
a
Do
call
you
for you.
think trouble? Do you think what you said was a response?
yes, I want to finish my
Okay,
response.
then you guys can
Yeah,
move on
Trouble,
from it.
articulate it properly. Yo, Trouble,
You guys,
articulate your response properly, bro.
Yes,
all right,
I have a
all right.
level head.
Trouble. Say all right. Just for the everyone, repeat your argument uh,
Okay,
before we move on.
Zizo said earlier that mightiest, if it's being referred to in terms of political power or influence, would be referring to an entirely distinct category because it wouldn't be in reference or mutually exclusive to the likes of what is it, combativeness or who's actually stronger than one another. To which I then said that, okay, well, one, that's just not true because like the whole narrative theme and backing for the main two for the main two tournaments, for example, Apocalypse, the reason why so many gods were offered to join and the reason why they enticed the gods to join was they gave them the proposition that, okay, well, if you join and win, you'll have the chance to rewrite all of reality into how you want it. So authority and influence is a reason for why they're going to be fighting, and the reason for why, if they win and they're called the mightiest can be in reference to the likes of their influence and not their strength, which is why I brought up the Gorse example. The Gorse are very high political ranking figures. I can say, yeah, him or Emo are like the mightiest beings, not because of their actual strength, but due to the nature of their rankings or things of that
Oh, yeah, the
nature.
course is fine, but I
All
have a
right.
question for you.
Trouble. I understand your argument completely.
I have a question
Uh,
for you. Just one really quick question, and then like we can move on.
Go.
Is dumb rewriting or like change the rules after they win or before they win the tournament?
That's not relevant.
It's
Okay.
relevant. Okay, I've already explained to you why it's relevant because the given
Okay,
the
replay it.
statement is talk about at the time like when Zeus was fighting him, he was considered he was the mightiest god, and because of that, Zeus would
You
be
know
like,
why? Okay, the reason why it fits is that, okay, he can be the mightiest god, not due to his physicals or like anything related to
that's the same
combat,
question.
but due to
That's
the
the same
wait,
question.
stop.
That's
But
okay.
due
That's
to
the
the
same
fact,
question. You're just repeating yourself.
wait,
You can
hold
move on.
on,
No, no, we can move on. Like
stop,
you're just repeating
stop,
yourself.
stop interrupting. Okay, I don't care. You
Okay.
can believe that. You can think that. I don't
Okay.
care.
Trouble. I understand. Okay, you guys are like, I've been listening to the arguments. You guys like it's literally reduced down to a point where you guys are just saying your points over and over. Please just move on.
Okay,
Okay.
we move on. What I'm referring to is before the mighty statement. He's already the leader of the entire Greek pantheon. He's already the leader of all the titans of entire fucking race. So mighty being reference to influence makes total and complete sense. That's why it's not fucking relevant. We can move on now.
Okay. Is that like your last piece of argument? Like,
We can move on. We can
I
move
don't, I
on.
don't, think- I don't
That
think this is
was
really.
something. That was
Yeah, I
something.
don't think. Yeah,
Okay.
I
Hey, y'all
mean,
niggas don't move on. I'ma hop in here and start ratting. Real
he
talk.
just shoved.
We can move on. We can move on. We
Hold
can
on. No,
move
he
on.
Yo,
just
We can
shoved
Ocean,
move
in
chill,
on.
something
bro.
We can
Don't
new.
move
bite the
on.
cheese. Don't bite the cheese.
We
He
can
shoved
move
in
on.
something
We
new.
can
I
move
like trying to
on.
tussle in the mud
We
so
can
bad.
move
Like he just
on.
shoved in
We
something
can
new.
move on. We can move
So why
on.
did you
Hold
stick
on,
in
We
something
wait.
new?
can
Okay,
move
okay. So
on.
all
We
I'm
can
gonna say
move
is that
on. We can
I
move
Wait,
don't
let
on.
think that
Zizo
like
respond. Come on,
this
bro.
this isn't mutually exclusive with my point. Yeah, he can be like the leader of the Titans because he's the strongest. Like the statement would still apply given my
That begs the
previous reasoning.
question.
Now we can move on.
Yeah, that begs the
All
question. That
right,
goes.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
okay.
all
So
right,
now, so you
Move
all
don't
on.
right.
think that was
Okay. Okay.
All right.
So,
You think Zizo begs the word? All right, whatever,
all
whatever.
right.
Move
So
on.
we're
Next
moving
point. Do
on.
you guys have
okay.
any other points, or do you want to end the debate?
So the
Um,
next, because I have to go in like 2 minutes. This is gonna be the last point. The next point would
all
be,
right.
what? Okay, let's assume right that I lost that point, right, and that the Adam's statement is just a bias towards it's not actually truthful.
Yeah,
What is your response to the manga scans where he's verbatim called the strongest of the Greek pantheon, and Zeus admits that he is the strongest of them all?
yeah. So the first one like that you say, the first one that you sent is stated by Hades himself, who's described to be as the most confident of the gods. Like I don't know like why like I would take into account a self-declarative statement by the character who like sees himself as the most confident of the gods.
It's third person. It's not first person. Like if it was self reference, it would be I as the
What is
strongest
this
of the
shitty
Greek.
ass translation? As the
brother.
strongest and eldest brother of the Greek pantheon, he can't afford to lose to his younger brother, right?
Yes, it's literally
What
it's
is? Yeah, this is some Mumbai translation. Hold on, I have the actual translation of this.
uh, yeah.
Wait, this is another trouble translation.
Yeah,
Why you
this
guys
is
get
another,
this?
bro. Like, no, I've seen this translation before. He tried to sneak this shit in. He's not fucking sneaky, nigga.
I mean, sure, bro. Go ahead and prove the statements from the story, bro. Go ahead and
Oh,
Holy shit!
Trouble's a crafty vet.
go ahead and
Hold
prove the
on,
statements from the story, bro.
I need the raws for this or some shit.
Oh, the story.
It's
Go
like
ahead and prove
91.2,
from the
right?
story,
Hold on,
bro.
what chapter is like 90.2 something point two?
It's and brother. Go ahead and justify what's it. Bro. I keep fucking stuttering. Go ahead and justify why it's a from the story world. And it's not a self-reference.
It's from what?
It's from I think 91.2, somewhere in between the Okita fight.
Yeah,
Somewhere
I
in
know
between.
it's that, but
Yeah.
can someone send me the link? Because I remember like arguing with Gizbob on this before. If I remember arguing with this, a lot of people on this before. Like it's a self-declarative statement. I don't know what Mumbai translation we're using here.
Sure, brother. Like it's what
Can
the
someone
fuck?
send me that? Like I swear to God, like
Hold on, bro.
hold on.
Anybody know where the Raws of Record Ragnarok are? Well, wait, Zizo.
I
I
can get
think he
it. What's
sends the
name?
Raw.
Huh?
I think he sends the Raw too.
Zizo, that's the raw translation, bro. The raw
Hold
is
on.
the
No.
Japanese.
Like I've seen this translation before. Like
Zizo,
Zizo, look at the top.
look
Look at the top
I
of the
know,
scan, bro.
no, I know, like no, I know, but like
look in
there
scan
was
chat.
something.
Look in scan chat. As the strongest eldest brother of the Greeks has divine realms has pantheon. It's literally just saying what I said earlier.
Hold on, Zizo. What did you have to say?
Where's the like, bro? I just want like the raw website. Like no, like I remember seeing like the actual like translation for this, and it was like something completely different. Like I remember like I've talked about people like before. Like this is not the real translation.
Zizo, okay. The raw panel itself, just copy and paste the kanji off the panel.
Yeah,
That's all you have
I'm
to
pretty
do,
sure the
bro.
panel is there.
Is the
Or is
panel there?
that not even the panel? Like, is that a fake panel? Like,
The panel, the text is on the side of the page. Just put it in Google Lens and copy, bro.
Okay, give me a
Obviously,
second.
but for like a way earlier point, can you like have the scan for like Artemis being like a very egotistical person?
Like in reference to like the tournament thing, or
No, it's a reference to, like how he like perceives the world. Like he just like he's very egotistical. Like he denies Zeus not because of him being like the eldest brother, but because of, like him being the ruler of them. Like he doesn't think he should be the ruler, and he wants to be the ruler. It's the Poseidon stuff. It's the Poseidon stuff. If you know what I'm referring to.
like how Poseidon is more fit to be a ruler because he's more godly than anyone else.
Yeah, and like somewhere around that part.
I think Zizo will grant that.
Like he's like the most fitting to be a king. I don't know about like the ruler of the Greek pantheon, but
When does he kill him?
hold on, I'll find the translation.
Bro, Robert, the rolls are right there. Like, why do people have to go
Shut
eat?
up! Shut up! No, no,
I
like
have
you're
to
like
go
fucking trying to.
eat. I have to go eat, brother.
all right,
I've
if
seen, no,
Trouble
like
has to go,
I
wait,
promise you, I've
let's
seen the
end.
scans and the raws,
Hold on.
and I've
Wait,
translated the raws of this myself. Like this is like he's like
I
fucking
just
baiting me.
translated it.
all
I
right,
just
listen. Trouble, do you have to go right now? If Trouble has to go right now, we can drop this and you guys can argue on like something else if there's like a clear
I have
uh
5 minutes. I have five
difference.
minutes. I have 5 minutes. I have 5 minutes.
All right, it's
So
gonna take Zizo way longer to find the Raws, so I'm not
the
gonna lie.
rolls is
Just
right
argue,
there. The
like
rolls
drop
is right
this scan,
there.
argue over the other one that you think's proven.
Bro, okay, what the scan is
All of these, like
okay.
literally, all of these are just abusing translations. Like these are just shitty ass translations. Hold on.
Okay.
What
Zeus
chapter is the
fucking
Hades?
Zeus
What chapter is the second, the middle one? Like where Ares
it's
calls him like the
chapter
strongest.
okay. We're on a time constraint. We'll move on to the second scan. It's chapter 61. Hades says, yeah, this guy is the strongest, correct? And then Zeus says, yeah, the guy is the strongest, but he can lose if he runs out of like life energy, which in the anime is the same exact translation. It's 1-to-1.
Let's see. The anime also changes up a lot of translations from raw kanji, but
It's wait, hold on. For one, it's stated that the anime is approved by the author and that they go over to make it the finalized version, kind of like Bleach. Can you send the anime stream of this translation?
yeah. So here's the first translation of the same scan. Like again, I also try to get
Are
the
we going?
official one. So this is the fan. Again, like this is just fucking like Mumbai translations, but I swear to God. Can someone send me like a website for the raws, please?
Oh my
Are we
god.
going back to the previous point?
No, like it's just like literally the point like that I was talking about earlier. I'm sending the other scan. Weep
Oh, should
Central.
you?
Weep
Oh,
Central
should
has a
we have
push up.
that statement? How long is this debate, bro? I don't want it to be
It's
50
like
minutes.
it's up to like 45 minutes. That's it. But
Oh yeah, it's 42
You
minutes.
guys have
42.
an hour cap, so just I don't know.
Yeah, we
60
have 3 minutes left. We have 3 minutes left. Oshi, can you send the animated version of this scan, please?
I sent in the scans.
Oh, you did? All right, thank you. Yeah, so and the anime literally just says the exact same thing. So it's not like some Mumbai translation, bro. It's just fucking one-to-one replica. Also, like, just give justification to it. I'm not
yeah,
even.
okay. So here's his two translations, and then this one he says he'll truly perish, but of course if he allows his life energy
Bro, I
to
don't care
draw.
about the English. I don't care about the English. I don't care about the
I'm
English.
reading the. I'm reading for one. I'm reading both anime translations. It's basically the same shit. For one, I just think he's just acknowledging what Ares is saying, and then he's just following it up by saying, if he allows his life energy to run dry, he will truly
That's not
perish.
true.
Like you
Okay, wait.
understand? Wait, hold on. You understand? Of course, can be like a statement of acknowledgement, correct? Not like in a statement of agreement. Like, are we clear on that?
In context, says he's a character. No, he's a very
Yeah,
egotistical.
justify that based on Zeus's character. Hello. What you think
You're
Zeus like
reading.
agrees with
You're a
everything? Like
rabbi.
Zeus is not
You're
the
a rabbi.
agreeable guy. Like what are we talking about?
Yeah, my guy, Zeus is egotistic. Oh shit, can you just get the scans, or to anybody who knows Record of Ragnarok, unlike this guy, can you get the scans of Zeus being an egotistical maniac? This guy in the
But if
power
he's being
fight is like,
egotistical maniac, this doesn't help you because you'd
wait,
be
no,
egotistical.
no,
You
no,
wouldn't
stop,
concede that
stop,
Hades is
stop,
stronger
stop,
than
stop.
him.
No, wait, no. It's egotistical in the sense that Zeus is selfish. He would not, he doesn't, he's not the type of character that, it's like Sukuna saying, it's like somebody says Gojo the strongest, and Sukuna says, of course. Sukuna in character would not agree and say, of course. Like, this is not who Zeus is as a character. Oh,
I'm,
can you just get
I'm
the
not. Yeah, you're presupposing. Of course, means you're agreeing. It's like
No, okay, okay. You're saying I'm saying of course means agreement, but the reason why it's not a presupposition, it's literally that okay, you're saying that of course can just be acknowledgement, like yeah, okay, I acknowledge him as the strongest, which
no,
you
no.
can't.
It's not an acknowledge. It's just acknowledgement of what Ares is saying, not what that the fact that Hades is the strongest.
Okay, so he acknowledges the sentence that Hades is the strongest. Okay, he's
Like he just
aware that
acknowledges what he just
okay, yeah,
acknowledges
yeah.
that yeah,
Okay,
like what
there's
Ares
two
said. Like
parts.
he
Wait, hold
like
on. There's two parts. There's two parts. You're saying that okay, he just is aware that the statement itself is made, not that he's in the terms of agreement. I'm saying the statement is him agreeing to it because in character, Zeus is not somebody who will just willingly downplay himself or really like admit that somebody else is stronger than him. He's not somebody that'll be like, yeah,
I'm not saying
this
he's
guy's
doing that.
stronger. You're
I'm
you're not.
saying he's acknowledging as like he heard what Ares said. Like if you
I
say
am
something to me,
denying that.
wait,
That's exactly
no,
what
no,
I'm
you're not
saying.
denying that. You're denying something completely different because you can't fucking track. I'm saying that he's saying of course as like yeah, I heard what you said. Not that I agree with it, or not that I acknowledge it as like something that could be true or something that you
It's
believe or something
exactly
like that.
what
Like
I'm saying.
it's like me saying okay. So I don't know why you're bringing it up. The second part of saying oh like Zeus in character is egotistical. We
That's
just agree to that, and it's like that doesn't defeat anything I've said. And like if anything, if he's egotistical, he would never agree to that because that's not what egotistical is like
the
to
whole
begin with.
point. That's the whole point. The egotistical thing is a likelihood decreaser. You can be egotistical and you can admit when something is just blatantly not true or blatantly just true. Like the egotistical
What?
is not just you where like you're just this dick person who just believes that you're at the top. I can be an egotistical person and still acknowledge and still accept the facts that are true. Okay. The whole
What?
point is that
That's not the
what
point
is
of
the
ego. Like that's
conclusion?
not how ego works. Like if no, I'm saying like if anything, like you bring it up, that just hurts you even more because
It does not
that's the point of stuff like ego lifting. For example, an ego lifter will lift weights more than he can given the fucking his ego that he has. People that have egos will make wrong assessments of their own personal abilities given the fact that
linear.
ego.
That's not linear. That's not linear.
How's
That's
that
not
not
linear.
linear? That's what ego means.
Dude, okay. One guy can be egotistical because of a different reason for why the other guys are egotistical. It's not a linear thing. It's literally it's literally like their self nature. Like do you think
Yeah,
that
I'm saying like you're just shitting on yourself. Like
okay,
respectfully.
can I just respond like before because I have to go now.
All
The
right, you
last
can respond.
do that.
If you want to, we can
The
conclude.
quote unquote acknowledgement or whatever is just a subset of my point as in terms of agreeing with the said thing, he would also be acknowledging it in the sense where he also heard the thing. It's a subset. It's mutually exclusive to what I'm saying.
It's a subset. A subset of
Mutually
what?
exclusive.
It's a subset of the terms of the agreement. Like if I acknowledge an agreement, then of course I heard the thing and I also agreed to the thing. It's a subset.
What kind of jump in logic is that?
Okay,
That's the biggest jump in logic I've
okay.
ever heard in my life, dude.
Westbound says if somebody says infinity, if somebody says Gali is, if somebody says Westbound is the best debater, and then Westbound says yes, that is true. He did two things. One, he acknowledged the statement in a where in a sense where he heard the statement, he's aware of the statement, and then
Yes.
he acknowledged it in the sense where he agreed to the statement. It's
Yeah,
two.
but
It's
yeah. The issue is that you added a second part where he affirms his truthfulness. Zeus doesn't do that. He just says, "Of course," but he will die. Like this is the reason why the second statement I sent you, despite even if the translation is
okay.
different, it still makes sense because Ares is saying that, oh, he can't be beat. Zeus is like, oh, of course, but he will run out and die, implying that he can be beat because he will die of blood loss and stuff. Not blood loss, sorry, his life force being drained. So it's just further acknowledges the idea that like he can say, like, I heard you, like in the same way that someone says okay, not to agree with what the person says, but just acknowledge just the fact that they did say and be like, yeah, I heard you. It's just a standard formality in conversation, and this is supported by the other translations, still making sense grammatically and linguistically, and what of course means, and Zeus's nature. I think all of that supports the idea of the statement just not meaning Zeus is automatic, like sorry, Zeus is cucking to
Okay.
Hades here, but
Okay.
rather that just he's just acknowledging what Ares is saying, and Ares is just fucking glazing.
Okay, let's take our interpretations, right? And let's just entirely remove it. Because in this context of what it's referring to, I don't know why the author would write it into a way where you're interpreting it, or it would just be like this ambiguous thing to where we don't know if of course means affirmation or it just means acknowledgement, right? Because under your interpretation, the average layman would just agree with me. That if you look like an average person on the street, be like, yeah, he's agreeing. The average person would say, well, no, he's not agreeing. He's just aware of the statement, right? So ignoring our interpretations, our one justification for is why in context was being talked about. It means what you're saying. Like it's
I
just
say I gave. Did I not give three reasons for it? Are we not
you just
tracking it?
okay.
Can
I
you repeat
said
back to my three
ignoring.
reasons?
I said ignoring the reasons because obviously we both believe what this means. But I'm saying if you remove that and then actually take our two interpretations and map it on, which one actually makes more sense? Which is going to be the more common denominator? Mine is, yours is not. You're assuming it. You're assuming extra variables. That being that, of course, isn't this but this.
Okay, so isn't this but this? Wait, so I'm confused. Are you saying to ignore the reasons yet give you reasons? I'm confused on what you're asking me.
Okay, I'm asking, independent of what you've already said, because that's already been put into question, why, when the author wrote down, of course, and then moved on to a entirely different fucking sentence, it means to say something else.
Did he die? Hello? 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 Hello?
It's a
Hello? Hello? Hello?
blatant, it's a blatant
You're
of,
lagging.
why would the blatant of course mean he's just
He's lagging.
aware of the statement? I'm not,
He's lagging. You're lagging.
is it better now? Is it better now?
I mean,
Here,
I,
it sounds fine. He sounds fine to me.
I still don't understand the burden you're putting on me here
We can
because,
conclude. We can conclude.
like, hold on, because I'm confused. You're like, you still haven't really addressed the reasons I gave, and you're saying, oh, it's just based upon fundamental disagreements. But
Okay,
I
the
gave you surrounding
reasoning.
context where it makes sense. It's just basic grammatical like
No,
understanding.
you didn't. No, you
It's not
didn't give
something
me.
weird.
You just said words like you said,
I
"Oh,
said
you
words.
said, oh, you just said, oh, Zeus's nature. Oh, well, of course, it doesn't generally mean this and that and that." Like I'm
Okay,
just
so
asking.
yeah, we can conclude then.
Okay, sure. I have to go. Just ping me about what the verdict was.
Okay, can I give a conclusion or no? Well, I'm gonna conclude anyways. Like I don't really know. Like he just to like recap the 3 points I made. I said that for one, of course, here can just mean an acknowledgement or like just him hearing it or introducing a new idea. I also said the definition for that. I also explained to him that can I give like a closing statement, trouble or no?
I mean, go ahead. You're giving it to
Yeah,
me. Like, trouble doesn't even
yeah.
argue.
So the second part is like I also explained to him how the second translation I gave, although it's different, also makes grammatically like perfect sense because if it was the case that he was acknowledging like his interpretation would be a contradiction, yet mine would like make perfect grammatical sense because it says that of course when his life force runs out, he will die. Even though Ares is like all saying like that's like Lord Hades, he can't be beat. Even though Zeus is insinuating the idea that he can be beat, so it can either be the case that he's just acknowledging what Ares said, or just introducing a new idea, or something like that. And Trouble really didn't address that. He didn't address that point. He didn't address the point about Zeus's nature was just that if Zeus is egotistical, it would probably be less likely that he would cuck down to someone like Hades. And he said, "Oh, I just said a bunch of words and like didn't address that." He basically didn't address a lot of the points. He didn't address the point way earlier about some of the arguments I was making about how like during the time of the fight, like he was using abilities and stuff and using combative like in a combative setting that Zeus beat the shit out of this guy during this time period, and um Kronos being the strongest would give credence to like the category of him being the strongest. Otherwise, it would be like a distinction would be like as likely because we'd be introducing something that's distinct. The two examples he gave of like the power and stuff, like being authoritative, would come after a fight, and in this case, it wouldn't be. The stuff that he provided about Kronos being the strongest also doesn't matter because sorry, not Kronos being the strongest. The leader of the Titans doesn't matter because it could also be just due to the definitive strength. All the statements in Apocalypse I never got a chance to send the statements in Apocalypse because we really like didn't like go through it that much, but I kind of like referenced it multiple times of like the gods in Apocalypse saying
Yo, you niggas
Zeus's
is
rise to power was after Tanemaki, and because of that, I just think Zeus wins. We put the translation point on hold because I couldn't find some of the translations. I also put the Viz stuff you mentioned earlier about it just being a synopsis that's being copied or pasted or something like that. I like said verbatim. We're gonna put it on hold until like the more major points are addressed. So like I don't want to like lose on that technical because I brought that up and saying that I was not gonna address it during this time. And unfortunately my opponent had to go. So the other point about the statement of the translation, I remember it being way different. And because of that, I was trying to look for the translation, but again, my opponent had to go, so we can get into that. So we also put that point on hold. So yeah, I just think a lot of the points of the semantics, I just won like pretty badly because I gave a lot of supporting evidence, a lot of justifications based upon the characters. I gave stuff about Adamas, and even like the stuff he was trying to bring up doesn't really attack my interpretation and doesn't kill my interpretation at all. It's pretty mutually inclusive with my interpretation, like stuff like being Adamas being egotistical and rebelling against Zeus, of him being egotistical. That
You don't
could
know what
also
that term means.
like that isn't
It's kind of what's in question.
that no like it's not what's the question. Like I explained it. Like mutually
I'm a
inclusive.
bad bro.
I also like supported with the semantics of addressing Zeus as the youngest in his statement of rejection and addressing Hades as the oldest in his statement of affirmation, implying he sees some hierarchy of age and strength being correlated. The stuff about the narrative, he made this claim, and like I hope he doesn't try to argue like, oh, he snuck it in or
Oh
something. He
yeah,
wanted
it's
to address
fucking
it completely.
conclusion.
The stuff about narrative, he said, like there's a narrative that the oldest means the strongest because of stuff being the most reliable and stuff. That's what's kind of in question, and like the supporting statements he gave doesn't really like help prove it. And I just think all in all, like a lot of the statements were like just redundant points. There's a lot he didn't address, and because of that, actually, I think I won really badly. If Arizona's
Really?
But
position,
how did you respond to him questioning your existence?
all right, nice,
I
bro.
didn't hear that. Go ahead, what's about who won, man?
Where's Zizu? Did you really win?
Nah, for real though. You know, Zizu seemed rhetorically better, man. I was just listening to their voices, so I don't know who argumentatively was better, but hey,
I don't think that's really hard to do against Trouble. Do you get
it
what I'm
was
saying?
beyond, man. What?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, let me mute this
Hey,
guy.
I do have my verdict.
I will hope so.
Really? What's your verdict, man? I'm waiting.
There was a winner, right? There,
Mhm.
Yo, what's his name?
there was also
Don't
a
be
loser.
biased. Mm.
After
Really?
long, hard consideration,
hmm
you know, going back and forth through my notes,
Uh-huh.
based on what
Can you
I
post
heard.
your notes, please?
Yeah, send your notes, but I want to
I,
see if you're actually telling the truth.
Yeah, I know. I
um,
want to see how good your notes are. Go ahead.
I'll take good.
um,
Nigga, just lost to Isaac too.
all right, yeah, nice one, pal. On recording,
Oh,
nice.
what's down notes? I'm sorry, I stole them and I deleted them.
Anyway, wait. Moving
That's a
forward, all
joke, by
right,
the way,
I'm
for
not
the
be
recording.
taking
I
any
haven't watched it.
questions
I
from
haven't.
the
Yo, hold
peanut
on. Just for the
gallery.
recording.
I'm just here to give my verdict as a
Hold on,
unbiased.
West.
arbiter.
West. Yo, just for the recording, that was a joke. I have not watched Isaac vs. Wishbone yet.
All right,
Now listen, hey, man, you really. All right, no further comments from the peanut gallery. I'm here to give my unbiased verdict on Zizo versus Trouble, based on what I heard. Right, based on all contributing
Oh my
factors,
fuck.
I would have to say that there was
Mm.
a decisive win,
Yeah,
leaning
Mm.
in
yeah.
favor of a certain Z word.
yay!
Ooh.
Hey,
Yo,
clap it up.
Zizi,
Hey,
you
clap it up.
finally
Hey,
beat
clap it up.
Trouble.
Yeah, this nigga Zizu
God
smiling,
damn, yo,
bro. Yeah,
Zizi
this is
finally got a
first
Hey,
win,
win
bro.
in
clap
a
it
week,
up, bro.
bro.
Hey, we got that extreme dip
Yo,
on
he's
Trouble.
smiling, bro. First win in a
Yo, bro,
month.
we gotta celebrate every win, bro. That's how we grow, bro.
Hey,
Yeah,
Nigga,
bro. Yeah,
you
every
All
haven't
right.
win.
been